Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I'd like to start by introducing myself. My name is Tania Sulistia and I am from English Education Department in State Islamic University of Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. I hope to consider the main issue around the articles that I reviewed before. Okay, I will explain one by one and correlate all of them as I can. So let's start by tell you the title of the articles. The first one is Helping Teachers Working Effectively with English Language Learners and Their Families, written by Cheng-Ting Chen, Diane W. Kyle, and Ellen Mclntyre. And the second is The Psychology of Academic Achievement by Philip H. Winne and John C. Nesbit. And the third is Mobile Learning in Teacher Training by P. Seppälä and H. Alamäki. And the fourth is Treating Children with Early-Onset Conduct Problems by Carolyn, Webster-Stratton, M. Jamila, Reid, and Mary Hammond. And the fifth is Learning Students' Perception and Attitudes about Community Service Learning in the Teacher Training Curriculum by Gerda Bender and Rene Jordaan. And the next is Including Parents Training in the Early Childhood Special Education Curriculum for Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder. It's written by Brooke, Ingersoll, and Dvortcsak. And the seventh is Work-Based Learning at Higher Education Level, Value, Practice, and Critique by Stan Lester and Carol Cosley. And the eighth is a prospective study of an association between quantity and variety of fruit and vegetable intake and incident type 2 diabetes, written by Andrew G. Cooper, Stephen G. Sharp, and Marlene and Langes. And the ninth is Intake of Fruit, Vegetables, and Fruit Juices and Risk of Diabetes in Women, written by Lydia A. Bizano, Tricia Kamudi J. Joshipura, and Frank. And the last article is Global Water Pollution and Human Health, written by Rene P. Schwarzenbach, Thomas Egley, Thomas B. Hofstetter, Urs von Gunther, and Bernhard Werle. Okay, I will divide into two parts because the topic I have are some differences. So number 1 to 7 we'll discuss about the education, and then number 8 to 10 we'll discuss about the health. Which is more interesting? If the question is for me, I will prefer to health. But let's discuss it sequentially so it will not make you not confused. The first one is Helping Teacher Working Effectively with English Language Learners and Their Families. This article talks about teachers who are unprepared with students who are lacking in their second language or English and their English language. Then, the writer makes research and examines with two groups of teachers with 20 classes, and the positive results if the family help in learning. So, the family have lot of the family should be the participant, should help their children to learn the English language. It's kind of practice the English language in their home with their family. And if the family do that, it will help teacher too. And the second is the psychology of academic achievement. This general problem is about the psychology of students' education and discuss about factors that influence and correlate with academic achievement. It's like, it's maybe can be two factors from internal and external, I mean. And then the third is mobile learning in teacher training. These articles talk about mobile learning for teachers. Mobile learning is flexible learning, can be done on campus or at home, and this facility will make learning easier and do it anywhere and anytime. And the idea of the tutors and trainers trainer and students can discuss and share their ideas about teaching methods via mobile devices or online and digital images as a part of supervision process. It's like in this era, sometimes we don't need go to the class if we have for the example like a Google Classroom. So as long as we update it or online, we will know the notice that there's a task, and we can submit the task from home as long as we online and have the connection to the internet. And the next is the fourth is treating children with early onset conduct problem. This article provides information on how to treat children, but before that, parents must be trained properly. In summary, the findings of this study show the usefulness of using treatments that strengthen protective factors like childcare competencies, children's social skill, homeschool involvement, and a positive classroom environment. As a strategist to prevent and reduce behavioral problems, city or child training improves peer social skills and the behavior of children in the classroom. So this is in here, as a parent, should be trained before we train our children. It's like the family should help their kids, right? It's like in the first article. So, but before the parents or the family help their kids, the parents should got the education before how to treat their kids. And then the fifth is student perception and attitudes about community service learning in the teacher training curriculum. The author tells us that our goal is to determine teacher training, student attitudes and perception, community service learning. But before the integration of such modules into their academic programs, make sure that students know what the benefits of community service are for students and especially for teaching training students. I ever watched a short movie. It shows how the teacher train the naughty students until the students itself understand how to learn, because as long in the class the student is never notice and never do the task, but the student is very smart, and there the teacher give a task to community service learnings, like the student gives service to another, and it makes the students realize what the purpose of the task. It's like the author said, students should know what the purpose itself. And the sixth is including parents training in the early childhood special education curriculum for children with autism spectrum disorder. This article provides parental training has proven to be a very effective method for promoting generalization and maintenance of skills in children with autism. Participating all families of children participating into ICSE RPI TS. It's kind of a club that help parents how to train their autism children. And in the class, the classes were asked to participate in parental training program. So all of the parents should join with this club to help their children. And parent training curriculum, parental training protocols, and teacher training protocols, future training, and result. It's some of the subject that will be explained in the club. And the 7 is work-based learning at higher education level, value, practice, and critic. Common problem area in this article. The author wants to discuss students debriefing before entering the workforce and how effective it is if students are given the skill they will work on later in their skill, because according to research they can become skilled employees or can become entrepreneurs in one successful skill. From those articles 1 to 7, it's talk about the educational, how the importance of parents' rights, and the 7 article with a little summary. We can conclude that the importance of the role of parents in children's education greatly influence children's psychology, because education is inseparable from parents. Even the articles also explain that parents must be trained before training their children if children with special needs are overwhelmed. As well as at school, not only the basic subject matter that have to get, but 30 is accompanied by skill that they will someday need, because we don't know what the child will become and his hidden talents that hasn't been seen. Alright, go on to the next discussion about the health. The 8th article is a prospective study of association between quantity and variety of fruit and vegetables intake and incident type 2 diabetes. In this article, the author wants to discuss the right fruit intake for diabetes according to the research they have done. This finding suggests that diets characterized by a greater number of vegetables and greater variation in fruit and vegetable intake are associated with a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. And the 9th article is kind of similar. It's intake of fruits, vegetables, and fruit juices and risk of diabetes in women. So these 2 articles is still talk about the diabetes, and the articles tells a common problem in the increased risk of long-standing diabetes and obesity, and these authors examine the contents of vegetables, fruits, and fruit juices that have different role in dealing with the disease. And the aim of this study was to examine the relationship between fruit, vegetables, and fruit juices intake and the development of type 2 diabetes. And it's kind of internal factors like family contribution and external and from the externals like alcohol intake can affect people who suffer from diabetes, and a positive relationship between fruit juices consumption and the possibility of diabetes risk related to fiber deficiency and other. And green leafy fruits and vegetables may contribute to a decrease in the incident type 2 diabetes, especially green leafy vegetables can provide magnesium, which is inversely proportional to the development of type 2 diabetes in especially to women. So the last article is talk about global water pollution and human health. This article provides problem with water quality are the main challenge facing humanity in the 21st century. This article discusses the danger of waste specifically in inorganics and organics micromolecules, including metals. An important finding is to tackle global water pollution. The needs for effective policies, technology, and scientific methods advance on a very different scale. The last three articles discuss about the health that we must protect the environment, air, and water because it can cause disease, can be called external factors, and these fruits and support internal facts or treat disease. It's like it's very important to how we keep our environment and how to keep our health. And okay, that's bring us to the end of my presentation. I hope you found it interesting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.